Hello, I'm Dale Chestnut, the Stormwater Coordinator at JMU, and my main focus at the university is implementing our stormwater management programs. So in this presentation, I'm going to try to summarize those programs for you. There are three main programs related to stormwater management, which definitely have some overlap between them. Erosion and sediment control, which deals mainly with construction projects and minimizing sediment loss from those projects and addressing water quantity or ensuring the project doesn't contribute to flooding and erosion downstream. The Virginia Stormwater Management Program, which mainly deals with post-construction and making sure the project has addressed water quality by implementing measures to mitigate the possible additional pollutant load from the site. And finally, the Municipal Separate Storm Sewer System, or MS4 program, which has many requirements, including compliance with the other two programs, but this one also focuses on outreach, education, and some special projects. So before getting into each of these programs, let's take a quick look at why these programs were created. I think we've all seen a movie where people in the desert start fleeing as a giant sandstorm approaches, so imagining that in the U.S., but with soil. That was the typical scene in the Midwest during the 1930s known as the Dust Bowl. The combination of severe drought and farming methods used at the time led to severe wind erosion, causing storms of soil to be transported miles away. So if you don't like shoveling snow, think about digging your car out of 3 foot of a dirt storm. Now imagine rivers so polluted that they routinely caught on fire, and when you stuck your hand in a river, it was more oily sludge than water. That would have been the Cuyahoga River flowing through Cleveland, Ohio. Time magazine described it as a river that oozes rather than flows, in which a person does not drown but decays. And then, of course, there was a lot of poorly managed construction sites that did not implement measures to deal with sediment loss or think about how stormwater runoff would flow through and out of the site during construction. And then why are these stormwater laws and programs still needed? While things have definitely improved, there's still room for improvement through continued education. Just walking around Newman Lake after a rainstorm, you can tell from all the floating debris that has accumulated that we can do better. Contractor education on proper ways and places to clean their waste, installing measures to prevent tracking mud off of the project site, and businesses and other entities discharging wastewater properly and cleaning their vehicles in approved locations and not allowing that wastewater to discharge to storm drains. General awareness and responsibility can go a long way. So jumping into our first of three programs, erosion and sediment control. This program is for land disturbing projects of 10,000 square feet or more and requires that those projects have a plan to address potential erosion and to control sediment, and also to evaluate post-construction stormwater runoff or water quantity to ensure downstream properties will not be negatively impacted from excess runoff. So with every project prior to the start of construction, engineers are required to provide plans for the site, which are reviewed for compliance with JMU standards and specifications and Virginia laws and regulations for erosion and sediment control. After approval of these plans, construction may begin, but regular site inspections by JMU is conducted to make sure the plan is being followed and measures are working. One control measure that can be found on pretty much every construction site is silt fence, which is a filter fabric installed that will filter sediment out of stormwater runoff. The typical installation of this practice involves excavating a small ditch, trenching the fabric in the ditch, supporting it with stakes, and backfilling and compacting the excavated soil. The three pictures on the left and center show proper installation, and the picture on the right shows how it works during construction by keeping soil on the project site. And then there is improper installation, or even not installing at all. These pictures, while not from JMU projects, show why regular inspections for compliance are needed. Top left, we can see a project is underway and the contractor still has a silt fence laying on the ground at the construction entrance. Meanwhile, the drainage ditch that was supposed to be protected by this silt fence is now full of sediment. So a violation was issued with an expedited timeline to clean the ditch and install the silt fence. Bottom left, gaps in silt fence really aren't that effective, as the water and the sediment will flow right between the two. In the center, this is what happens when the silt fence isn't entrenched and backfilled. Sediment from the site flows right underneath the fabric. And then the pic on the right, contractors driving over the silt fence kind of defeats the purpose. So site evaluation and maintenance of controls are needed throughout projects. While the ESC programs deal with sediment control and water quantity, the Virginia Stormwater Management Program deals with water quality to mitigate post-construction pollutant loads. While most best management practices or BMPs evaluate phosphorus, these practices inherently deal with nitrogen and total suspended solids also. These requirements typically kick in on projects of an acre or more, and the plan review process and site inspections through construction are part of this process too. In addition, post-construction, these BMPs installed to meet the VSMP requirements are inspected at least once a year in perpetuity to ensure they are still functioning as designed and maintained when needed. JMU has over 100 stormwater best management practices, with bioretention filters more commonly referred to as rain gardens being the most abundant and most visible. These practices provide both water quantity and water quality benefits. Made from natural components, the plants and mulch soak up potential pollutants from the project site and filter the stormwater runoff before it leaves the site and enters our local waterways. One of the biggest practices we have on campus is an underground detention system, which provides water quantity benefits and also has storm filters included that provides water quality benefits. And it goes unnoticed underneath the throwing fields at Centerra Park. And now moving to the Municipal Separate Storm Sewer System Program, or MS4. This program is required due to the population of our area and starts with public education and outreach, which should be fairly easy at an Institute of Higher Learning. So in addition to regular curriculum materials, we provide education on high-priority stormwater issues, which we have identified as public awareness of pollution prevention and water quality issues, litter prevention at outdoor athletic events, and pollution prevention related to facilities management operations. We also have educational signage for our riparian buffers, aquatic bench around Newman Lake, bioretentions, and the green roof at Madison Union. Of course, a website at jmu.edu/stormwater for more information. For public involvement and participation, JMU staff is involved with many organizations and committees such as the Central Shenandoah Planning District Commission, Friends of the Shenandoah River, the Shenandoah Valley Soil and Water Conservation District, and the Pure Water Forum. And along with the student body, provide a lot of assistance for Harrisonburg's Blacks Run Cleanup Day and other stream events. Another component of the MS4 is an illicit discharge detection and elimination program, which simply means if you find pollution, stop the pollution. With this, we have mapped our storm drainage system, so in the event we notice pollution discharging from the system, we have a quick map reference to assist in finding the source of the pollution, and regular inspections of the system's discharge to the stream is done so that issues can be detected, reported, and corrected. And we are also a resource for complaints of possible pollution to be investigated. Like in this case, a contractor was illegally dumping waste. Phone call was received, and after visiting the area, the contractor was identified, project managers and contractor owners notified, and expectations for cleanup with an immediate deadline given. Another part of the MS4 program is pollution prevention and good housekeeping for our operations. This is done through policies and procedures and ongoing education. This provides a groundwork to make sure JMU staff is aware of requirements and procedures in place to meet those requirements, whether it's dealing with applying fertilizers, storing erodible materials, or cleaning up after an accidental leak in a vehicle. And lastly, special conditions related to action plans to allow for better water conditions in our local waterways as part of Total Maximum Daily Load, or TMDL implementation plans. These are measures to reduce pollutants from entering our waterways by using practices such as street cleaning, installing stormwater best management practices, and even doing stream restoration projects. As part of TMDLs at JMU, we have implemented projects accounting for a reduction of approximately 340 pounds per year of phosphorus, 835 pounds a year of nitrogen, and over 85 tons of sediment per year with a main focus on stream restoration. Since 2012, over 3,500 linear feet of stream has been restored to redefine the floodway to reduce stream erosion and allow for riparian buffers next to our local streams. And that is a quick summary of our stormwater-related programs here at JMU. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at the contact information provided or check out our website at jmu.edu/stormwater.